Politics. We dissect the last debate between Barack Obama and John McCain. Hello, I'm Dimyake Wakalielye.
And I'm Vincent McCory. Also ahead, possible movement in power-sharing talks in Zimbabwe and looking for ways to feed the hungry on World Food Day. All this and more on today's In Focus. We'll get to our coverage of Zimbabwe World Food Day and hear from In Focus Health correspondent Lenore Mudu a little later. But now let's get started with the U.S. presidential election. Republican John McCain and Democrat Barack Obama clashed often in their third and final debate Wednesday night. VOA's Jim Fry has the story.
With Senator Barack Obama pulling away in most polls, Senator John McCain sought a turnabout in fortune in this final televised debate. The Republican often acted as the aggressor, here bringing up one campaign pledge.
You didn't tell the American people the truth.
The Democrat at times returned rhetorical fire of his own.
And 100%, John, of your ads, 100% of them have been negative.
Barack Obama, born of the corrupt Chicago political machine.
An ongoing university study of such ads found that nearly every McCain campaign ad in the last week has been negative, but this was not the case earlier. The Republican also has attacked Obama over his past association with William Ayers, who participated in anti-Vietnam War bombings.
Mr. Ayers, I don't care about an old washed-up terrorist, but as Senator Clinton said in her debates with you, we need to know the full extent of that relationship. We need to know the full extent of Senator Obama's relationship with Acorn.
The organization is accused of illegally padding voter registration rolls, which McCain seeks to link to his opponent.
Had nothing to do with us. We were not involved.
And Obama says Ayers is not involved in his campaign.
40 years ago, when I was 8 years old, he engaged in despicable acts with a radical domestic group.
Earlier on this day, the Dow Jones Industrial Average took one of its biggest tumbles ever. Both candidates appealed to ordinary Americans.
They're hurting and they're angry. They're innocent victims of greed and excess on Wall Street.
McCain touted his economic plan, which includes a cut in taxes on capital gains and on retirement funds.
What we haven't yet seen is a rescue package for the middle class, because the fundamentals of the economy were weak even before this latest crisis.
Obama spoke of his plan, which includes a 90-day moratorium on home foreclosures at some banks. It was this campaign encounter that became a symbol.
I mean, I've worked hard. I'm a plumber.
An Ohio plumber told Obama the Democrats' tax plan would prevent him from buying a plumbing business. McCain repeatedly mentioned the man in attacking Obama's tax proposals.
Joe, I want to tell you, I'll not only help that you buy that business that you worked your whole life for.
And he claimed Obama's health plan would penalize businessmen like the plumber if they don't offer employees health insurance. Obama defended his proposal to raise taxes on earnings above $250,000. And as to any health insurance penalties...
and I'm happy to talk to you, Joe, too, if you're out there. Here's your fine, $0.
Even on other issues, such as federal spending, energy, and abortion, the debate was often punctuated by sharp exchanges, as the tone of the campaign grows increasingly negative with less than 3 weeks to Election Day. Jim Fry, VOA News.
Now joining us with more on the election campaign is VOA political correspondent Jim Malone. Thank you so much for being here, Jim. Of course, you, myself, Vincent, everybody watched yesterday's debate, including Joe. So tell us, what do you think how crucial was this debate really, and what did it achieve for these candidates?
I think it was more crucial for John McCain to try to inject some momentum into his campaign. He tried to do that with a series of sort of soft attacks on Barack Obama. It was limited somewhat by the fact that the two men were sitting at the same table. with a moderator between them. So it tends to temper the ability of one candidate to go after the other. But Barack Obama probably also did what he had to do, maintain that cool temperament, and remains on track, according to the polls, as the favorite to win the White House right now. The post-debate polls showed Obama with a clear advantage over McCain.
Now, Jim, most of our viewers, because they have such an interest in this election, have almost reached a conclusion that Barack Obama is going to carry this election. What can possibly happen between now and the election day?
I'd say be a little careful. I think the election campaigns in our country have a history of tightening near the end. In 1976, Jimmy Carter had a huge lead over Gerald Ford, who was in a lot of trouble because of Richard Nixon and Watergate and so forth. Carter barely won that election. We tend to be a moderate to slightly conservative country at the end of the day, so Barack Obama still has some work to do. In fact, his wife, Michelle Obama, was on the morning talk shows today saying, "We're not going to count our chickens before they're hatched. We still know we have a long way to go." And 2 weeks in our politics can be a lifetime. And I think you'll see Senator McCain with his new best friend, Plumber Joe, trying to make the case to the middle class that Barack Obama would raise people's taxes. So McCain is trying here in the last days to gain some momentum and to undercut Obama's momentum.
Now, Jim, what do you think McCain, of course, needs to do? We keep hearing how he's the one who really has to step up here. And when you hear that Obama is making such strides in key battleground states like Ohio, Florida, even Virginia, which hasn't been won by a Democrat in 44 years, what does it mean, and what does McCain have to do?
Well, that's an excellent question. And our viewers should watch in the final days where these candidates are campaigning. That will give you some indication as to the state of the race. Right now, Barack Obama is very competitive in states that in recent elections have gone Republican. We call them red states. And so he doesn't have to defend as many Democratic-leaning states. That means the election is being fought on Republican turf. That's not good news for John McCain. So McCain continues to trail in some of these key so-called battleground states.
Well, this topic could go on forever, and I know you'll be back to give us some more information on this. That was Jim Malone, VOA's national correspondent. Of course, we look forward to having you back, Jim. For now, please.
We'd like to hear now what our viewers think of the election and our coverage of it. Send us an email at africatv@voanews.com.